Hi, this is Jace sharing about my case to create a public record following a quote from Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada. When the rules no longer protect you, you have few options and you have to protect yourself. I have escaped persecution, torture, and violence from the United States by the United States by the knowledge of the FBI. I saw protection in 5 countries, including Canada, where I'm in now, but I'm still not protected, and I'm experiencing dehumanization, strong pattern of transnational repression and persecution. In Canada, I'm not safe, so the only option left, since this is a covert operation by the CIA, the only option left is visibility and to create a public record because I'm fearing for my life. So this could work as protection, maybe following Mark's lead. So thank you, Mark. This is episode 9, Economic Sabotage and Administrative Persecution. These episodes has been created by the AI. I am not a content creator. I don't know how to create contents. I don't have the skills to create contents. I don't know how to use this technology to create content. So I'm only left with dividing my screen to create this video and public record. So episode 9, this CIA covert operation or psych operation continued, kept me in engineered poverty and isolation for long years. I shared with the Canadians here supplemental submissions to prove that. Section 9, Paul, MULT, Tricks, REKA, Hand, Mary, and WEAP. This is what I'm going to discuss here now. The Canadians know, they know everything, right? This is a matter of the limbo system until we figure out how we can defy the United States. Maybe, I don't know what's in their mind, but they followed orders from the United States. So Section 9 this is the main written submission. Those others are the ones to support this main written submission in some way, somehow. So, economic sabotage. I lived in the United States for 8 years. All I made was $52,000, and now I don't have about $2,000. Average per year was $6,875, right? So I shared my tax returns not only to show that this was my income level, but also to show that in the year 2019, maybe when I worked cash, I even reported all my income, right? I shared my resume. I shared about Harvard article here that in 2021, they recognize, even late 2021, Harvard recognized that the modern way to survive is to create a career portfolio, right? The old way was to belong to a recession-proof industry, but the new way was to create a career portfolio. So I was ahead of time. In 2016, when I moved to the United States, I had a career portfolio of 4 careers, which I have explained this before in my previous episodes. So I was trying to convince the Canadian that by any means the problem is not mine. I was ahead of time, 5 years ahead of time, to be immune actually to underemployment or even unemployment in the United States. So I'm sharing this statistics about accounting with them, accounting profession with them. They have shortages in accountants. They love Indians, so they give them all these accounting jobs that the Americans couldn't get. Not a man like me. No, 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 no. Even if you live in America, you will not get the job, right? They give these jobs to Indians because they love them. I also love Indians. I was born in Kuwait, so there was so many Indian friends I had and stuff like that. I don't have problems with them, but the case is that me living in the United States, I can go to work myself. You will not get this job. We brought you to dehumanize you, right? Not to even give you a job that you can survive as a human. You have to beg for food and stuff like that. So upwardly global here. The criteria to receive services from Aboard the Global as a new American, yeah, is that is that you have to be out of your career for 7 years. So this is the exit arm. This is the exit phase, right? This is how they completely destroy you, kind of. In my case, I mean, I'm accusing the United States government of employing this organization to gaslight us that we don't have skills. We don't have communication skills, no English skills. We don't know how to write resumes. We don't know even how maybe to sleep or to brush our teeth. We come from different planet, and if we need to work in America, we have to go to the intergalactic communication department to see if we can work in the United States, or we should get back to our galaxy, something like this. So I'm sharing with the Canadians that hey, this is my, this is, it's not reasonable, right? So someone who is multi-qualified and he have international experience, and not only that, I have advanced accounting experience. So in the jobs that require consolidated financial statement experience, only about 100 or 200 people apply for it because it's not common that accountants know how to consolidate financial statements. Any other jobs, you can find thousands of people applying because it's common, right? So advanced accounting experience. I worked for PwC. I know even best practices in the entire finance department. These are the ones applied by Apple, Google, all these big companies. I could have worked in a big company. I know how to manage these processes up to the best practices in America from the from an organization. I don't have to mention its name. I'm not marketing for it. So this guy, he's only a CPA and he lived in upper middle class. Remember the delete evidences, right? So a video I posted, I shared a video link and screenshot that in this video, someone was shooting videos, and he's American, born in America, that New York City is like a movie, right? And this there was an agent standing in line with me back in Raleigh, North Carolina, when he asked me how you felt like being in America, and I told him, man, the first time I came here, I felt like I'm inside a movie, right, in New York City. So one guy in Stockholm, in Sweden, he was sarcastically approaching me. Oh, when you see an American, you feel like in a movie. No, Habibi, this is in your mind. Reality is 90% perception, right? This is in your mind. I'm Egyptian. If I let myself to my Egyptian bride, all countries will be here, Egyptian will be here. The history, the pyramids, all these kind of Egyptian bride thing, I will not see anybody, good luck. So tax returns I shared to prove that I paid, not that I paid my taxes, this is also my income. And I believe this is also to show that when I worked cash, I paid my taxes and I reported most of my income, because the highest year that I paid the taxes in or reported higher income is the year was when I worked cash, right? So, yeah. So this is my emails with Upworldly Global, Esmeralda, blah, blah, blah. This is my experience with the shelter. So in LA, they refused to, they came up with a new system. It's always new. It's like selective enforcement of the rules. You cannot leave the shelter unless your case manager give you a pass. So it's like a prison. And to convince me that this is legal, they shout at others, my case worker, I'm not gonna give you any pass. Right? He's shouting at them. No passes today, nobody's getting a pass. We all imprisoned in the shelter in America, in LA, in California. So because I have to go outside to look for jobs, right? But they lock you in, as they lock me in, without the car keys in Statesboro, you lose your job. You cannot search for jobs. This is the employment specialist in LA. She did not help me land a job, or she canceled the appointment. Same in Brooklyn. Those employment specialists were like, no, 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 no. You don't help, right? This is my communication with Department of Labor of New Jersey. They did not help me land a job. I was qualified for $4,000 to get a training to become a data analyst. They did not approve it. We don't have funds. She played a game with me, like, she first told me we don't have funds, and later she told me, no, the funds are there, but it's freezed. I'm not a human for them, like they are like, you're not Hispanic or Latino. I don't have problems with Hispanic or Latinos, but that's the system in America. When you apply for a job, they ask, are you Hispanic or Latino? If you say yes, Allahu Akbar, we love you. You can come, work, prosper, take benefits, whatever you want. We will not put you from the 75 countries that come to America to only rely on benefits. You can even become a criminal, rape Americans, kill Americans, do whatever you want in America. We will not hack your devices. We will not come after you before you go. We will not block you from protections. The police will fear you, like the Mexicans, what they did in California last year, maybe. They raised the flag and they broke the police cars. So you don't have to be afraid of, you don't even have to record having an evidence that somebody hit you, like they did in Raleigh, North Carolina. They let me see a fight where the victim told the police officer, I recorded everything. And then next day the victim disappeared, who get used to take the bus, but the perpetrator, the one who hit him really hard, he bleed, right? Is free, right? But no, if you're a Hispanic or Latino, go ahead. You want to be a businessman, you want to work, no problem. You want to be a criminal, we will not hack your devices. The police also will fear you, no problem. So that's what it's in their minds. That's what I'm trying to say, right? What makes America is the greatest country is prisoners of hope, like people even who lives in Mexico or stuff like that. They still can have a chance to get into the country, right? Even if they don't have passports, stuff like that. And then, but not criminals, not stuff like that. The CIA don't care about who what makes America great. They just need to validate their superior, false status of superiority, and it's mostly white related. CIA director only once have been black. So this is my emails. I'm talking too much. This is my emails with the Department of Labor. I'm trying to prove, let me get back to my case, that I've done my best communicating with the Department of Labor to get employed. They did not help me getting employed. I complained to the equal employment. They were like, no jurisdiction. So this persecution system in America works differently than in Canada. In America, they can deny you any rights, right? They are like, oh, okay, let's see, what's your name? Okay, so your file said you are not human. You don't have the right to work in America. You don't have the right to be respected in America. You are in the process of being dehumanized. The only rights you have here, Social Security, ID. You're not allowed to have a driver's license, because if you have a driver's license, you'll be able to make money. So you're not allowed to have a driver's license, and you're only allowed to have a passport. Sorry, sir, there's no equal employment rights. There's nothing, right? In Canada, complain, and we will see you in 100 years' time when Jesus return, riding Uber maybe or stuff like that from a Canadian company. So this is my complaints and stuff with the Department of Labor. I guess I summarized this somewhere else, right? So I'm trying to say, hey, the employment specialist in the shelter did not help me find a job. The Department of Labor did not help me find it. They blocked me from work, right? And even when I tried to become a medical biller or coder, they gaslighted me in this school. They were following instructions, right? So this is my email I'm sharing with my caseworker, that this career, this school program can help me get many jobs. So if I finish this school program, I had about 5, 6 jobs I can have if I succeed in this program. And here's the trick: the CIA convince you that this is a bad thing, where that the group of people that I joined in a text message group, after they finished these programs and they shared their certificates, they complain about, we didn't find jobs, those assholes, this program was about funding the school, blah 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 blah, to convince you that, hey, even the, anyway. So I'm sharing these emails that I've done my best, right? I've been trying to work, I've been trying to find jobs, I've been trying to learn. Tax auditor. The IRS never changed my name, right? I cannot work with two names or a different name than my legal name, stuff like that. Fire department, if DNY, I attended sessions and stuff like that, they blocked me. They needed certification, high school certification when I have a bachelor degree. No, we need high school. But I have a higher certificate. No, 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 no. You cannot work with us. Virtual career fairs, they messed up with my account on New York State. I was not able to attend most of these virtual career fairs. They mess up with the password. Same as they mess up with the tool payments, right? So I have a tool, I put the tool number, and it does not exist. Later on, I found inflated invoices. So they removed the tools from the system, and it's a double sword age. It's like this guy doesn't only pay his tools, but they use that to create financial burden, high invoices. So even if I have a credit, they will destroy it, right? The ambulance at the Home Depot, when they said we have a mass shooter, the ambulance told me I got fired, but there is a financial burden, $1,500 invoice. So they really crush you, like they crush you. More money you have to pay, but no job. And then they let you beg for a job, beg, like, please, please hire me, right? And then it's like the church, in the Mormon church, I met with a man, get baptized. What kind of job you want? 80,000, 90,000, 120? You choose, right? We will get you the job you want. So then they discredit you. They master the art of using this unemployment to discredit you, to increase the financial burden on you. My name is Jace Baz. I'm accusing the United States government of deliberately doing this to me in the United States. It's a covert operation by the CIA, aided by the FBI. So I'm sharing with my caseworker here, or case manager, that my accounts are blocked. I've been blocked, and they falsify these accounts and stuff like that. It makes you feel desperate, like nothing is working in your life. Insurance accounts is not working. The only access you have is to your bank account. That's it. But anything else, your account on New York virtual career fairs, the password no longer work. You need to renew the password. You renew the password, it doesn't work. There's a job fair, I cannot attend it. Anyway, it's not a system failure, all right? I'm not paranoid or stuff like that. These are not misfortunate thing that all these wrong things happen to me, misfortunately, right? This is WEAP. No, this is section 9. So let's get from the top. Mary is about the tactics that has been used. This chart synthesizes the systemic pattern of persecution documented across all evidence, demonstrating how engineered poverty, financial traps, and weaponized institutions were deployed against the applicant. Engineered poverty as the primary weapon, exclusion from work, destitution, like even in Liverpool. No, you have to be destitute. But others has received accommodation. You didn't ask them in front of me whether they are destitute or not, right? but they were Muslims. It was theatrical. They let me in the office 8:20 in the morning. The office opened at 10 o'clock. So this was all a movie to make me regret that I become Christian in America. So they brought Muslim family and a Muslim lady with a niqab. You want accommodation? Here you go, accommodation. You guys accommodation? Here you go, accommodation. This for me, you have to be destitute. You have to show us invoices and your bank balance is zero. Then we can give you accommodation, right? And then I should have lived in the dream of being, wow, I will join PwC in the UK, and wow, I'll be British maybe, or be with a white woman, like, you know, whatever the trap. It's a future trap that even Dr. Ramani, usually in narcissistic relationships, where you think that things will get better, but truth is it will not ever get better, right? So when I found Americans interviewing me, and oh, this is not, in England, in Liverpool, there's no hope. Why would I trust that they will let me in the? They will not even give me money to eat. If I would have to trust this, I have to spend all my money. So Dr. Money. Future. What is future faking? It will be future faking because those ladies who met me there and asked me, oh, I need your passport and stuff like that. In their minds, I'm the true man, straightforward, who believe. Even it's like they speak American. I worked with the British 6 years in Dubai, but they are highly systemic, right? They are busy with violence. They are busy with deception. You don't know that, okay, well, I met with British people, I know how they speak, right? So it's like this. Let me get back to this. This remind me of that the fact that I need to be destitute in Britain before they give me accommodation. Okay, vulnerability, creating a desperation window, engineered complete financial collapse. No income, no housing, no family support. Right, the pastor who gave me $100, I returned it back to him. And this is what it's in the minds of the CIA or the aggressors, right? Which what here, yeah, this is what Ross talk about. So I lived in Egypt, even having more better lifestyle than in Dubai, okay, because not because I'm Egyptian. We have different lifestyle that is more upper class than a lifestyle in United Arab Emirates, but United Arab Emirates did not apply the same uh, lifestyle there. They are very rigid in high towers only. Anyway, so I lived in Egypt, I lived in United Arab Emirates. I was the one to give money to the poor, right? Now I become the poor. Now my bank account is $5,000 or less or stuff like that. And now I become the poor Egyptian that this pastor will, okay, take $100. Thank God you have, somebody's helping you or stuff like that. I don't have a job for you. You're poor, you take $100, right? So Ross here spoke about, I know I read this before, but I'm reading it again because it reminded me I need to say something else about it. Ross here mentioned about they change your feelings and memories. So after 8 years or 7 years, when I met with this pastor, I lived under poverty line. I moved from the rich lifestyle, like here, in other words, so PwC office was in this building in Emirates, and it was in the 40th floor. And this tower was a high class tower. So all my watches were so expensive, all my ties, suits, everything was so super brands, and uh, luxury restaurants, amazing food, uh, Apple, its name was Apple something, the gym, 6 o'clock in the morning, I go to the gym and then go to work. Amazing lifestyle, all right? But then I become poor for 8 years or 7 years in America. I lived under poverty line. So this is what the CIA relies on, that after all these years, I will forget about who I am, who I was, my human values that they have dehumanized over the years to even convince me that you cannot work even as a cashier. When you went to Home Depot, you were a mass shooter. Even though my badges, I earned badges of 100% performance as a cashier. So, no, no, this is not your reality. Your reality is the CIA reality. Your reality is the CIA Constitution. It's not the US Constitution that guarantees that you will work, prosper, the land of the free and brave. No, 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 no. We are the land of oppression and cowardness. We know we want to kill you. We know we will want to dehumanize you. Stuff like that. So this is proven by Ross because it's a psych operation. I'm trying to prove that it's a psych operation to destroy me. That I will forget about who I am, and this is where this pastor gave me $100. So when this pastor gave me the $100, in his mind, I'm that poor Egyptian. That okay, take $100, stuff like that. So I returned it back to him. I discussed about what happened in the Mormon church. I discussed about what happened in Norway. The false disability is a double sword. Before that, I mentioned it was a job that I accept the benefits, but yeah, it was about the job. The trap, it's a double sword. So vertigo, it's a false medical diagnosis. I'm accusing the United States government of weaponizing this diagnosis to isolate me and limit my work even options. But the trap here was that if I would have to accept the only job to come as a benefit of this disability, it was only for 6 months. They would have to fire me anyway, right? And it was so that discrediting happens in the system. They need papers to show. See, he faked his vertigo to get a job. I didn't even listen to this guy in the Mormon church who told me, okay, I'll give you 120,000, just get baptized. Job, right? So it's in the system and to the public. So in the CIA control your medical reports. They try to create this discredited profile in the United States against you, and it's all unseen. If you notice, it's unseen diagnosis: seizure, vertigo, schizophrenia, paranoia. So it's like they are setting on all a list of only unseen diagnoses, and they can, the more you escalate, the more they will diagnose you falsely with these false diagnoses. So I did not accept the job because it was an anomaly. I'm an auditor. My mind is highly alert to anomalies, right? From all the jobs in the market, this is the only job was available to me. So back to the double sword is that they use it to discredit you and to use it to isolate you and being alone, get you to be alone, to talk to yourself, whatever. So the bystander discrediting compared to the public. So, for example, in Sweden, I was getting my passport back from a lady, and out of nowhere she put her hand up and she looked disappointed. I was not saying something bad, but when somebody talk to you like this, yo, it's like, it seems like I'm saying something wrong, like I have anger issues or stuff like that. But I was not saying something wrong. I was asking her, right? So they mastered the art of discrediting not only in the files, but also publicly, right? And they work hard on that. My family asked me to remove my tattoo cross so they can refer me to a job. Right? And even if I would have to remove it, they will say, see, now he's abandoning Christianity to get a job. stuff like that. No. So, yeah, so the weaponized churches, federal agencies, hospitals, anyone, they can give them wings and they will fly to, like monkeys to do the agenda that the CIA want. $4,000 training was rejected from the Department of Labor to become a data analyst, complete this course. Anyway, I'm trying to prove that I worked so hard on myself in the US. This is targeted persecution. This can be possible. Compassion Christian Church, my beloved church, they seems to be weaponized. When I asked them for the $100 at the end, it was more of a test to convince myself that this church is like, no way, they have nothing to do with you. It was proven to me, and that's what opened my mind to the fact that that was not a pastor who baptized me to save me, right? And then that's when I realized that the CIA weaponized this church against me to lose the Arab world. That's why the timing of my rejection, my blockage in Qatar for 5 years came after asking the question of, did you convert to Christianity in America? Yes, okay, you are blocked from entering Qatar for 5 years. So now I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be like, oh, let me get back to Islam, please get me to Qatar. Weaponized, right? Who told the Qataris that I convert to Christianity in America? Anyway, Compassion Christian Church thing, Orthodox Church. I went to the church because I got engaged to a Coptic lady. She asked me to go meet with the father to get baptized. I was arguing with them that I don't need to get baptized as an Orthodox to be with this lady, but I was trying to. Yeah, there was Egyptians who followed me, so there was an Orthodox church beside where I stayed in the camp in Stockholm, and actually in New York, they also used them to stalk me, right? Used anybody, not only the church, Muslims and stuff like that. They can use anybody. So this is not against the Orthodox Church, but this is how the CIA can, and even the Egyptian Mukhabarat can use people around you to harass you, spy on you, and stuff like that. So we talked about Mormon Church, returning the $100, stuff like that. We discussed this before. I plead not guilty. This is more of an anti-smear campaign table, I guess. Yes. So converted to please Americans. Good luck with that. I submitted. I evangelized for free. So I was pleasing Jesus. Is not I was pleasing Americans. Anyway, I submitted so much enough proof that it has nothing to do with Americans. I've even I attend Bible studies with black people, right? Pastor Wayne Williams, right? So it has nothing to do with Americans. It has nothing to do with black people. And I'm Egyptian. The Egyptian bride is far beyond any nationality on this planet, right? Because if you submit your Egyptian bride, the high context Egyptian bride, you will be here and everybody else will be below you. The pyramids, nobody know how to build the pyramids. We invented paper. Till now, Egypt is the best. Egypt, Egypt, Egypt. Any Egyptian who submit himself to his Egyptian bride, he will not see any one who's superior to him, right? Egyptians now, when they fight online with the Saudis or something like this, they brag about our ancestors that they were wearing slippers and they were clean. You guys didn't even know how to wear slippers, stuff like that. So, which is wrong, but there's no Egyptian that will please Americans or any other nation. Anyway, converted for money. I proved that has nothing to do with money. I even persevered. I did not apply for benefits. If I'm a man after money or opportunistic about this, 6 years in America I qualified to apply for benefits. I never applied for benefits. 6 years. Changed name to be American. I proved that it's about Christianity, and Baz is an Islamic name, and my middle name is also Islamic and Arabic name. Went to church to beg. I volunteered. I did not beg from anybody. I even, in the Mormon church, I attend a course online, so I even donated to the Mormon church because I felt like those guys have done an effort with me, right? Attending this course online on Zoom. So I felt like I need to pay money, even though they did it for free, right? Playing a victim, I submitted so much evidence about this. I'm not playing a victim thing. 2 Egyptian for American, 2 American for Egypt. We'll come to this later in a later. There's a different submission here specifically about this. Right, so moving forward, this is half an hour, is too much. Converted for money. So this is anti-smear. Angry man Egyptian. I proved that I don't have anger issues. No one, and it's like not no one, but it's only by God's grace that I got out of the United States safe. The CIA are so experienced in getting someone angry, in creating a crime. They can create a crime at any time from anybody with a probability of success of a 90%. But it's by God's grace that it's like because I was born in Kuwait, and it's like I'm not a man to get angry, not even when I'm sleep deprived. It's not part of my dignity thing. I threw things behind and I move forward, stuff like that. So, angry man Egyptian, hasty man Egyptian, I want everything quick, 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 quick. I would have filed a case against the USCIS. If I'm this type of a man, I would have filed a case against USCIS. 3 years they never respond to me, right? I did not file a case against USCIS. I did not file to become a US citizen 3 months before my permanent residency. After I got my permanent residency, I did not apply to become a U.S. citizen. I came from the background where we go to the Gulf countries, we just work, enjoy life. We don't leave home to be citizens. The Kuwaitis, they don't give you citizens. They give it by it's a grace. They give it to some Jordanians or stuff like that. But we don't care about citizenship. We don't think about citizenship. They don't use citizenship against us. That when you become Emirati, you have to do these things to become Emirati or become Kuwaiti. We don't care. We live. We don't care. Anyway, so pleasing Americans, ashamed of being Egyptian. I still identify myself as Egyptian. Sometimes I identify myself as Afghani, by the way. Double bind, this will come to this later, trap settings, anyway. That's enough for Mary. WEAP, anti-smear evidence, this is also anti-smear. Submission. Yeah, that guy who converted is because one lady here, she came to me and said, we will be together, living together, we'll make a good couple, stuff like that. I just came to know you for about a week or two. What living together are you talking about, right? So I realize here that, hey, there's a smear campaign that I probably converted to Christianity or call myself Jays to to have this free Western life, and I came from a conservative life in Egypt, and I did this to become with women. So oh no, I did not only live this life in Egypt or the United Arab Emirates. I even had a girlfriend. I lived with this girlfriend in Turkey. Right, so I don't have any. I'm trying. So this is a character assassination. So I'm not bragging. I'm defending my character, right? Because this is a psych operation. People have this cognitive dissonance. So the CIA job is to make you look bad as much as they can, desperate as much as they can, stuff like that. Even the phones, they hack the phone. They don't allow you to buy new phones to remain with an old phone to look poor, right? So I was moving here that hey, no, I had girlfriends before. Uh, I was grow up in a swimming pool. It's like a life not most people have. I grew up in a swimming pool in Egypt. Anyway, this is the $100 proof that I returned it back to the same pastor who gave it to me. And yeah, emails to my church trying to tell them that hey, I was sharing their videos with people from New York to let them learn how faith works and stuff like that. So I'm trying to tell my church guys, I did not only evangelize in New York, I was sharing your sermons with those people. Now you are abandoning me? Okay. So you baptized me to kill me. You did not baptize me to save me, Compassion Christian Church. So you have been weaponized by the CIA to let me regret that I become Christian in America. I lost my family. I lost a life in Qatar. You know, it was the best weapon they used against me, right? Anyway, so I'm sharing my emails to prove that I did my best with my church. I asked them to find me a remote job, $500 job a month, nothing, so they have been weaponized. And all these emails are available online. It's not like I did not redact it because it's personal. It's available online. So these emails I got it online. I was in Egypt, so it's no secret. REKA, this is taking too long. Systemic employment persecution at state coordinated menticide and refutable of acculturation failure allegation. Yeah, so this is Georgia Southern University. They hired me, they fired me. I'm trying to prove that this hire and fire cycle started so early back in 2018, right? So this is what, again, Ross here mentioned. So when you're fired from a job and another, you start doubting yourself. I can't even fit as a cashier or stuff like that. But no, this was an act of violence. This was an act of persecution. This was an act of dehumanizing, destabilizing, manufactured poverty, an act of menticide. The CIA mastered it, and they rely on it. It will succeed as it was succeeded before, but it did not work with me because I worked in 5 countries. I worked in Egypt, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Turkey. 5 countries I worked before in 4 careers. I worked for myself as even a management consultant. I forgot about management consultant. I had 6 careers. So I moved to the US with 5 careers as a management consultant. As a management consultant, I was not like I'm super intelligent. I can tell management what to do. No, my background relied on best practices issued by the highest authority in the United States, the organization that has the highest authority to tell management what to do, not only in terms of finance and accounting departments, in terms of other operational things like growth strategies, if you need to grow your company. What are the best practices? How Starbucks go, how Google grow, stuff like that. These are so I get into management consulting not only because I can learn things fast and I can apply it fast. I put myself into a position of advising management, and I submitted later submissions that although they treat me as Truman, who's not aware of himself and stuff like that, I'm more aware of myself than group CFOs who doesn't even know management. So their management skills are like compared to me because I'm careful about management. So, and then you cannot work as a financial analyst. Okay, you can fire me, and it's not gonna change my belief of myself, but that's what Ross has confirmed. So I shared about my hire and fire cycle in Georgia Southern to prove that I was fired for no good reason, but they use this as an act of menticide to make you think you are. Anyway, we are Americans. You're like, all right, go on, good luck. I shared where, yeah, here somewhere. Yeah, so this is a story about Alcoa closure system. This company was founded by a kid. After 100 years, so they manufacture closers, right? So after 100 years, there was that kid also from Africa. He was black, and he was listening to the machine. And because this machine, they have a percentage of their products that were not perfect, and some of it was defective, right? But they didn't know for 100 years why there are defective products until a kid from Africa, luckily, this CFO, his name is Klaus, if I remember his name well, Klaus Kleinfeld, met him. He's secured because he's the CEO, right? So he's secured. So he has no problem to see something different from the norms. So he asked this guy, why are you listening to the machine? And he told him it pop-ups because it has a problem. So the HR knows that if you hire somebody from a different culture, the more likely to find your blind spots, right? But it should not hurt diversity. So you cannot hire everybody from outside your culture also as well, stuff like that. But if you only hire Americans only in America, in a country that accept immigrants, you will less likely be able to see your blind spots, right? Stuff like that. Anyway, I'm talking also too much again. So my emails was my church, REKA submission. This is about character assessment of my attitude in my emails and stuff like that. MULT. Yeah, so see this professor was mentioning that, perception, what to say is 90% of reality. So this is what the psychologist also agreed about, but I was trying to give an example because I cannot just say psychologists say that. Here's an American woman, she's a professor, Stephanie from Stony Brook University, professor of public policy and economics. She also, so she's not a psychologist, right? She's in the public policy and economics. Like me, I'm not a psychologist, but she also believed that 90% of reality is perception, right? She was on Bloomberg. So I was trying to prove to them that my father-in-law, this family that they used to extract me from Egypt by marriage, is a white supremacist. And if they use this white supremacy, so they let a white woman, I did not put any photo for her. So, or did I? But I did not. Anyway, so I was trying to say, hey, I dated other than white Americans. I dated an Egyptian, no problem with me. I got engaged to this lady. I'm not stuck into chasing a white woman. I proved that I've been in touch with these women. I'm trying to give them, I'm defending my character, so I'm not stuck with even whatever white America white Jesus, white church. No. So it's a matter of perception. That's why they use white women against me. Um, Target employment scams. I'm sharing that they also scammed me. It's when when you are blocked from employment, they will not only in the shelters and in the camps send people to you to tell you, I'm hired and hey, I found jobs, I work. No, they let people tell you, I found a job, but I'm not getting it. Like someone unemployed, see, I found a job, it's a full-time job. It's 50,000, but I'm not gonna take it. It's no, I don't like it. Who's in the world will refuse a part-time job, living in a shelter, unemployed for a year or so or whatever, and he's saying no, 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 and I respond to the email, no, I'm not taking the job. It's a job offer. So they make you desperate, not only by people around you, they harass you with so many messages. Here this was an example of so many harassed messages about false job offers. They use even Deloitte and Touche before. This guy from what? Corn Ferry. I don't know what Corn Ferry is. Uh, this was bogus, kind of. This job description does not match my experience by any way, by any means, and it was not realistic to me. So I blocked him. He didn't seem to be. He was referred by someone else. On LinkedIn, because that's how they continue this cycle, right? They need a chain of disappointment, rejection, 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 rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. Desperate, go to the nearest subway and go meet with Jesus, right? He will give you a job in heaven. Yes, I was sharing so many screenshots about so many messages I received about false job offers, but the CIA applied these tactics to stress hard on your desperation that you are not working. The double rejection tactic. So you apply for a job, they reject you, and then they send you another email, you are rejected again. Then they call you again, you are rejected again. So this was an example I'm sharing with the Canadians who actually know the same tactic, or probably applied the same tactic in Canada. I don't know. But I'm sharing to tell them this is how the CIA, when they target somebody for persecute him, want him to commit a hate crime, they do this to him, right? Within 1 month, I can receive like 50, 20 messages. Hey, we have a job, or I have a job. Because first time when I tried to respond to these people, they was all false. So I realized that I need to stop responding to them because they were all false, right? This is a message from someone I met in LA. He was happy meeting with me, stuff like that. So it's not like I'm too Egyptian to work. This is some an American guy who was born in America, and he's telling me, yeah, I'm happy to meet with a man like you, right? He was saying that something like he was not happy meeting with others, but he was happy meeting with me. And he was not gay; he was straight. He was like having a wife and stuff like that, but he was in a trouble. Right, so I'm submitting. This was multiple reasons. Submission, Paul. Paul is interesting submission. Wow, I'm getting about an hour. Okay, so Paul is interesting because it's uh, it's one of the hardest evidence, the best evidence ever that this is a CIA operation. So in America, they tell me, okay, you're too Egyptian to work in America, right? All right, fine. So when I tried to work in Egypt, they told me you are too American for us, you cannot work. So acculturation, you're not fit into this culture to work in America. And in Egypt, because this is systemic, right? This is the CIA and the Egyptian Mukhabarat. They apply the same tactic, alienation tactic. In America, I'm too Egyptian. In Egypt, I'm too American to exclude me from work. So they highly systemic. They are not even creative about their violence tactics, right? You can say anything else. You can, but highly systemic, highly systemic. Same reason here, same reason there. So my parents are Egyptians. I'm now in Egypt, too American. Like, you cannot work with the Egyptians here, like, stuff like that. Even though I managed to twice in 20 years. So when I worked at PwC in 2005, they didn't know that they can use the apps in Arabic language. They didn't. I was the only one to tell them, no, you still can use it in Arabic language. Because I was born in Kuwait, so my Arabic is authentic. I can work in Arabic language. It hurts people in United Arab Emirates and in Europe or where. So many people, like when they work in English, wow, I'm superior. I can work in Arabic. I don't have problem to work in Arabic. So after 20 years, in 2025, I also taught those people that the audit software they use, they can use it in Arabic. I even shared training with them in Arabic, not in English. Anyway, so this poll submission is the strongest proof that the alienation tactics was applied in the same manner. It's a proof that my persecution was transnational. The United States government came after me everywhere to force me back to America, right? No work, no protection outside America. Even in Egypt, we will alienate you from Egypt, the country of your parents, of your first national. You're too American to work in Egypt. If I'm too American to work in Egypt, it's like stupid intelligent agents, you're giving me the evidence that I should work in America. I should have succeeded in America. If I'm too American to work in Egypt, then I cannot work in Egypt. I should be able to work in America. Anyway, so, all right, so, wow, this is too long. This is a risk analysis metrics. It's something they submit here in Canada as a risk assessment for the IRCC to kind of a summary of the risks and why you cannot get back to your home country. The Americans this time will not stage an accident. Probably they will invest more money. Even the Canadians can do it here. The guy is criticizing our federal court. But it's true, if we report these kind of payment systems that delay refunds to the FBI. This is a practice the FBI have to investigate from a federal agency. Why you're not paying the Americans their money, right? Why you apply this payment system, a refund model, right? So it's like I'm officially whistleblowing. Whistleblowers in America, they get killed. In Europe, they don't open their mouths because they know if they whistleblow, bye-bye, Habibi. You will meet with Jesus or Muhammad in heaven. So tricks is over, 9 is over, 6 is over. So back to Hind that confirmed that Americans target Arabs, and Hind last year expected the war against Iran. Even this is the YouTube video, if you know Arabic you can watch it, even that Israel will go against Turkey. So her expectations are right. It happened. So when she say that, hey, Americans target Arabs even if they are Christians, she was right. I was a target for the United States government to be persecuted, to commit a hate crime in America, because Palestinians and Jews, they live together in America. If they are born there, they don't fight each other. Even in North Carolina, the young generation, Generation Z, the Jews and Palestinians were revolting together, like they were demonstrating together against what's happening in Gaza. So they need to bring someone from outside, right? Because America for him is completely different reality. So he needs to live in the reality that we hired so many people from Israel, but not you. go ahead, do it, right? Hate somebody or do something wrong. They choose the wrong guy. I don't even need the Jews. My name was my friends. They called me Leisha when I was in high school. It's a Jewish name. And this is the first time I ever share this. My friends at high school, they called me Leisha. It's a Jewish name because I was the guy who passed the exams. At times they failed the exams, but I'm with them all the time. So how come you don't have time to study like us, but then you pass your exams? You're a Jewish guy. You have this Jewish mean mindset where you study sometime from behind us and pass the exams that we fail. So they called me Leisha because this is how we perceive the Jews, that they are mean and how they succeed in life, something like that. So, and this is why the CIA is highly systemic, right? They did this before to someone. I'm sure they did it. So they are repeating it without actually knowing. You're bringing a guy who lived in Dubai. So you think America will be, he will not realize that he's getting persecuted. He will believe that he cannot do his resume or stuff like that. Or he will dream to be with a white woman, or he will please Americans becoming a Christian. When you tell him no Qatar for you, he will regret it. Good luck. I'm not trying to challenge anybody here. I'm just trying to build a case and share it publicly. So to end this section 9, it's too long. 6 years below the poverty line in the US without benefits plus repeated coercion in Ontario works. Here I was dehumanized in their eyes. Assembly. So from Peel also I have discussed this before, and how why a Canadian woman was thought that a 44 years man will be terrified of being sued for harassment when I didn't even call her or don't know that she exists, or I did not even harass my caseworker herself. I didn't talk to her. I don't know how she sound or look like even. So this is environmental manipulation, and this when the public hear us to say that they manipulate the environment around me, this is true. They love it. They love deception. They love to use real human beings to deceive somebody, and Dr. Ramani talked about it. So let me, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's in the other PSYOP supplemental submission that this psych operations is true. They will use real people, humans, to create some sort of environment, like in Truman's show, to convince you otherwise that your hardship in life, your misery is normal. They normalize this. Or if you wanted to take an action, like this lady who talked over the phone, somebody stole something from my room, I need fingerprints, so you are dehumanized. So it's a chance for you to ask for your rights. I need fingerprints. Who took my glasses? And then they find your glasses. Things like in line, they shout at someone who crossed the line. They need you to shout also at others. This is your right. Nobody should cross your line. Well, it's not by shouting. You tell people, hey, just wait or get in line. You don't shout at others. You don't even not cursing at them. It's like it was bad. It's like you don't look down at others like this who just grabbed a bottle of water. But this is behavioral. They need you to do like this. So psych operations is proven. They go before us. Dr. Ramani proved it. They change the environment around us. Dr. Ramani proved it, like the Truman Show. We are straightforward people. We can be guilt-tripped. We come from different culture. Blah, 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 blah. So if you want to validate anything, you can go to Dr. Ramani's and search it, and you can ask DI to find it for you, or you can go to my website, this as website thing, case files, Canada, download, main supplemental submission, and you can find it in PsyOps. And one of the more tactics mentioned is here. How they change, how they wear hats to disguise, how they, I reported here that they used so many people at the airport in Liverpool, no place for me to sleep. I have to be sleep deprived, or I can sleep in the airport, dreaming that things will get better in Britain. So yeah, I use the AI to validate that these kind of psych operations here. You can also refer to it. This was long. This was episode 9. This documented environmental manipulation to induce helplessness. I will see you. I don't know what is in episode 10. Thanks for watching. This was long. Again, I'm not a content creator. I did not mean to create this for any reason other than to create a public record for my case.